James, are we ready?
Yep, everything looks good to go on my end.
Excellent. And yeah, everyone can see the workshop screen.
Yep, I can see the slides perfectly.
All right. So welcome to the workshop webinar. We are going to cover many of the areas of automated trading. So first, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Jason Randolph, the general manager at SignalStack, and James.
Hey, how's everybody doing? My name's James. I'm the customer success manager with SignalStack and Trendspider, and appreciate everybody coming today.
All right. Thank you, James. So we're going to jump right in. Let's first go through some of the benefits of auto trading. By using an automated approach, traders are able to reduce the emotions which we all struggle with as traders. Presetting your trade conditions with entry and exits will make it easier to follow your trading plan. Your orders will be executed faster than manual entry, and this is going to result in better trade results. Then finally, for those markets that trade 24/7, you as a trader can go and take advantage of those extended hours. And finally, this allows you to give more time in front of or with life and less time in front of your screens. This is especially great for traders who have a full-time job. By automating your trading, you are joining an elite club of traders. Over 70% of all trades are executed using automated bots, while less than 1% of traders are automating their orders. For traders who simply want to convert their trade alerts to instantly executed orders in your broker account, SignalStack was built for you. Now, SignalStack is not a copy trader, AI bots generator, or we don't go and create the trade strategies for you. Now, you can semi-automate a single trade when a condition is met, such as a 9 and 21 moving average, which is a much more simpler approach to automation. Or you can automate your trades using a full automated strategy with buys and sells that dynamically execute. Trading automation does not mean set it up and leave it. You choose the balance when using automation that fits your trading style. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll go through them. All right. Automating trading now requires no coding and is as simple as point and click with SignalStack. For advanced traders, we've got 1,000 pages of documentation to support any question. You can automate trades in any asset class, including crypto, futures, CFDs, stocks, and even options. SignalStack supports all of the most popular trade charting platforms, including Tradingview and Trendspider. And you can always refine your trades with almost any order type. So right before we jump in to setting up our first orders, you have over 22 brokerages that seamlessly integrate right into SignalStack. These include both live and simulated brokerage accounts. We always suggest starting with a simulated account until you're comfortable with automated order execution. And from an account type, you can use margins, cash, and even retirement accounts. As always, there's no fee to add any additional brokerage accounts or to switch account type, asset types. All right, let's jump in to setting up our orders. So the first order we're going to set up will be an end-to-end showing how to log in to SignalStack, create an account, and set up our order. So we're gonna set up just a trend line order first in Tradingview, and then we're gonna do the same in Trendspider, and we're also gonna do a moving average cross. All right, so let's see. Can everyone see the SignalStack welcome screen?
Yep, we can see the SignalStack webpage right now.
Excellent. So you go into first SignalStack, create an account. There's no credit card required, just your name and email. And you'll be prompted once you log in to go and set up your first trade. Now, first you'll just click continue. And here you'll be given the option, do you want to use TradingView, Trendspider, or Zapier? I'm going to select TradingView. And I'm going to connect my Trendspider or Tradivate account. And it's just, for most brokerages, just one click. That was a fully now integrated connection. Now it's going to ask for this setup, which account do I want to use? Now I'm going to use my Tradivate demo account. And next, you're going to see a typical order ticket. When you have an automated trade that executes, what do you want to have happen? So in this case, I want to do a market order. I want to do a buy because I've got a trend line that I want to go and automate. And from a quantity, I'm going to change this to 1. And I do want to do the MES contract, which is the futures contract. So I click, and it does generate the order. Now all I have to do is open up here, and everyone can now see my TradingView screen. I'm going to go in here, and I want to create a simple alert that I'm looking at a channel here. And I'm going to create a trend line right here. And say this is kind of my weekly trend line. And I want to say, I want to automate an alert to go and buy if this ever gets crossed. So all I do is click create. I'm going to click copy. Open up my notifications. And I can use any alerts, but I'm going to do webhook. And then say I want it to just go and do a buy when it crosses above the line. So all I now do is say, all right, this is just the message we need to go and tell TradingView we want to conduct. And now we just name this alert, which would be buy over trend line. And I want to do it once per bar at close. And there we go. We've got an automated trade that if this line gets crossed above, we'll conduct a buy. Now I can do the same thing and clone this order. And create a second order. So if the line is crossing down on this conduct, it will execute. And all I'll do is do a sell. And now we've created both sides of the order. Now I can also go and make a little bit more complex, which is I want to go and have across when the moving average crosses on a 10-second. So here I've got my 9 and 21 SMA. So I'm just going to right click, create an alert. So it's my 9 M&A crosses up above the 21 EMA. I want to now go and anytime that happens, create a buy. So I'm going to copy the webhook, make sure it's the same right here. And I'm going to go and click the same order here, because we can do that. And I'm going to do a buy above. And I'm going to name it SMA 21.9 cross buy. And that now creates on the 21 the order on the 10-second cross. Now, if I want to go and do a sell, all I do is change it to sell. And crosses down. All right, so once I've clicked there, I'll click done. And that is two examples of how to go and automate the SignalStack automation using TradingView. Now I'm going to switch this over and share with James, and he's going to walk you through TradingView or Trendspider.
Yeah, Trendspider. So Jason, that was awesome. Thanks for walking through that. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. It's saying that my screen is blocked from sharing. Can you unblock?
All right, let's try this now.
Oh, there it goes. Nice. Okay. Maybe that was my fault. Okay. So just to get started off, I will say a little note about TradingView as well is that we have seen some users that already have custom built strategies with Pine script or whatever. Maybe there's some community script that they're using. And there is situations where we can use dynamic variables inside of TradingView. So if you are looking to do something a little more complex, feel free to reach out to our support team, and myself or one of my team members will be happy to walk you through the process of what that looks like. But there's not really many limitations on that front. Like if TradingView can do it, then SignalStack should be able to automate it for the most part. So beyond that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the Trendspider portion. So I'll start off where Jason started off with SignalStack here. You'll see that when you come into SignalStack and sign in for the first time, instead of selecting TradingView, we're going to select Trendspider. It'll select. Let me reload this. Hold on 1 second. It logged me out real quick. All right, so here we go. So we're going to select Trendspider. And again, you'll be able to select from your brokerages here, and all of the brokerages list what asset class can be traded via API. There might be some cases where you can trade an asset class with a brokerage inside of their brokerage account, but you cannot trade it via API. So this is a great place to just kind of look and see to make sure your asset class can be traded with your specific brokerage. And if not, we can make recommendations on which ones will. And that'll be on our supported brokers page on the website. But for this example today, I'm going to use a TradeStation sim account. So I'll click on TradeStation. I've already logged into the account here. And so you'll see TradeStation gives you access to a bunch of different accounts here. And for today's example, I'm going to select the sim futures account. And then from here, I need to select my asset class, my order type, and my action. I can also adjust the symbol and the quantity. And you'll see if I just press test here, I get an error. No need to worry about this though, because SignalStack does a great job of telling you exactly what and why the error happened and how to fix it. So in this case, it says invalid account for the asset type. And so we know that our issues with the asset class, and we need to change that. And the reason for this is because this is a futures only sim account. And so I cannot execute any orders that are not futures. So I'll change it over to futures. This will update my symbol to be an example of a futures symbol with TradeStation, and we'll just keep it as a market order. We'll say the action's still a buy, and that we're going to do one contract. We'll test this again. Okay, it works. If you have any issues at this step or questions, again, please feel free to use the contact us button down here in the bottom right-hand corner, and our support team will be happy to help. But that's pretty much all the steps you need from SignalStack. From here, you're already done. Now you just need to come into Trendspider and set up your alert or your strategy. And so Trendspider allows you to do this in two different ways, very similar to how Jason portrayed in TradingView. So for the first one, we're just going to draw a trend line, and we'll just say this is our trend line. And then we just right click on the trend line and press create alert here. Okay, so let's say that if price bounces off, we can say breaks through, touches, or bounces. You can select one or all three, but let's just say for our case today, we're going to say if price bounces off of this line, then we can also adjust the sensitivity here, and we can say we can make it thinner or we can make it a bit wider. For today's example, we're going to keep it really, really tight. And so it basically price has to bounce exactly off of this trend line. We need to set our confirmation candle. We'll give it a name. We'll say MES trendline bounce. And then we need to give a note here. And the note is already pre-written for you here inside of SignalStack. So you can press copy and you can paste your note in. The expiration, you can say, okay, I only want this to happen today, or you can make it longer if you like, and I only want it to happen once. And that's all you need to set up your alert, and you press create alert, and now you're all set, except for there's one more piece to this that that is very important for all of your alerts. If you come into the top right-hand corner, there's a little person icon. You'll click account and settings, and this is going to be where all of your alerts are sent to. You can have your alerts sent to your email, SMS, or webhook. In order to route an alert to SignalStack, you need to have webhooks enabled. So we're going to check the box. We will copy the webhook URL here and paste it into this box. You can think of the webhook URL essentially as the mailing address and SignalStack as the mailman. That webhook URL essentially tells Trendspider where to mail the webhook to, and then Trendspider will deliver to that webhook URL your specific order instructions, and then SignalStack will route it to your brokerage. Now, so if you're inside of Trendspider, you've created your alert, you've set your webhook URL, and you want to see which alerts you have active, and you want to manage your alerts. You click the alerts sidebar widget on the right panel, and you'll see here the alert we just created, which was the MES Z23 contract on the 1 hour time frame, and it's a trendline bounce, and you'll see that it's active. I can edit the alert or I can trash it. So for our purposes today, we'll just trash it, exit out. So this is really useful if you just want to execute an individual order. This won't buy. You could set another order to be a sell as well. But let's say you have a strategy similar to what Jason presented. And for this example, we're going to say that you just simply use a 50 SMA and 200 SMA cross or a golden cross. So you're going to come down to strategy tester. And I've already built the strategy, but I can build it out real quick. So this is what it looks like, the golden cross strategy. But it's also very simple to build out, and I'll kind of walk through those steps right now. So we can say add parameter here, condition, indicator, SMA has crossed up through, and then we'll change these lengths to be the correct amounts that we want. And we'll add another script here. Indicator, SMA has crossed down through the other SMA, and we'll say 50 has crossed down through the 200. You can also apply a take profit, a stop loss, a trailing stop, number of candles passed, or any number of other conditions. So let's run our back test. Okay, so let's just say in theory that this was a great strategy and I definitely want to automate this. And I want SignalStack to route all of my buy and sell orders to my brokerage account. I've done all my analysis. So now I'm going to click Launch as Trading Bot, and you'll see the Trading Bot settings come up. We'll call this the 5200 bot. And you'll see here that the name of the strategy is the name of the strategy we use down here. So in order to make that be a name that you want it to be, we'd come down here and name our strategy, the 5200 SMA cross. We'll press Launch as Trading Bot again, and you'll see that that name updates. You'll see that we're using the 1 hour time frame for confirmation. And very similar to how we set up the alert, the bot, every time it enters or exits, will send a notification either to your SMS, email, or webhook. And in order to route this order to SignalStack, we do need to enable webhooks. We can come in and Trendspider will give you some sample JSON or some sample text if you just paste in the webhook URL. But this is not necessarily going to be correct. This is kind of meant just to be a guidepost to give you a hint as to what's possible. And so we'll delete this. And for this specific order, since it's a futures order, we need to paste in the instructions first. Then we'll copy the webhook URL and paste that in. And then we can copy the same instructions, paste it into the exit webhook body. But in this case, the only thing we need to change is change this from a buy to a sell. And then we'll copy the webhook URL, paste this into the box. And from here, you're all set from a perspective of everything you need to create your bot. You'll just need to decide some of the settings. So for example, would you like for Trendspider to retry failed webhooks? There may be cases where your order triggers and Trendspider sends the order to SignalStack, SignalStack sends the order to your brokerage, and your brokerage may fail to execute the order for any number of reasons. Now, this is fairly rare, but it does happen. So in the cases where a webhook fails, would you like your webhook to be retried? Or if you failed to enter or exit? Now, there's another setting down here that's definitely worth taking note of, where you can, if your strategy started in a position, so let's say when I launch this bot, I'm already in a position, which is the case for this strategy. Right now, it would be long. So do I want it to get into the trade immediately, or do I want to generate my first entry after the next exit? For this case, I'll just select generate the first entry after the next exit, and that's everything you need. Just press create bot. And now you've launched your first automated trading bot. Very similar to alerts. If you want to check on your bots to see if they're active, if they're working, you can see a list of bots here that I've created. And the most recent one was the MES on the 1 hour with the 5200 SMA cross. And so from here, you can either clone your strategy, you can edit it, you can check the information to see when it was created, updated, if it's active or not, and whether it's in a position, or you can pause it. So let's say I want to pause. All I have to do is press pause, and then I can come in and clone it if I want to turn it back on. Very simple. So that's basically everything. That's as easy as it is, and that's everything you need to automate either an individual alert or a strategy. I will say that one of the limitations for Trendspider is that when you go to create these bots, the lowest time frame you can currently trade is on the 15-minute time frame, and that's for every asset class. This will change over time, and we will be bringing this time frame down. But for now, if you're trading on anything under the 15-minute, then we probably push you to or recommend you to use Tradingview instead of Trendspider. But there are also cases where you would definitely want to use Trendspider instead of Tradingview. It just depends on your use case. For example, the ability for me to create this strategy with no code is a huge advantage for Trendspider. So your use case just depends on which platform to use, and our support team will be happy to help point you in the right direction if you need any help with that. And there's one more thing I want to point out. It's not necessarily to do with Trendspider in specific, but once you get done with everything here, we can press I've done that. You'll also notice there's some helpful videos down here you can click on and watch if you are interested. But you can click I have done that and go to your dashboard. Once you're in your dashboard, the way to figure out what JSON message you need to paste into the box is very simple, and we've set it up to make it as easy as possible. You can click documentation here, and then you'll simply select what brokerage account you're using. So in our case, TradeStation, I can select the asset class, so futures, my order type. Let's say I want to use a limit order and I want to sell. Well, SignalStack will go ahead and write that entire code for me. And now all I have to do is copy and paste this into, oh, whoops, I clicked the wrong thing. Futures, limit, sell. I can just copy this and paste it into my platform. And I can even test to make sure that it's correct. We also give you instructions here for all of the different variables. And if you have any questions, again, I will always say, come down here to the bottom right and contact our support team. And that's pretty much all I've got.
Excellent. Thank you so much, James, for that really great overview. We're almost ready for our Q&A, but one last set of notes we wanted to cover off on is be sure when you set up automated trading that you're being aware of large market events. When you do back testing and strategies, this is based on historical trends. Always be aware if you want to be running during market events, even during the morning or certain volatility periods. Just be aware of that when you set up your automated trades. Don't forget, if you pause or enable a trade, that you end where you want to be. If you go in and get a great entry on an automated entry, but you want to manually close it out early, just be aware of any other sides of the trade that may be exposed. We always suggest starting with a simulated trading account in one of the brokerages. It acts effectively identically. Just be aware also, Tradingview does have triggers that if you go and make 15 trades in less than 3 minutes, it will pause your alert. And that's nothing to do with SignalStack. That's just a max capacity Tradingview has. And just a reminder of the reference of the lower time frames are a bit limiting in Trendspider if you're looking for 15 or less, or less than 15-minute time frames. Other than this, we'd love to answer any questions. We've got a few here. James, do you want to maybe speak to a few from our attendees?
Yeah, for sure. Are you talking about the ones in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what we've got here. Okay, so it looks like the first one was, can your tool interface with Fidelity? No, it can't. That's a great suggestion. I don't think Fidelity offers access to their API for retail traders, at least last I checked. Maybe that's changed, but we can definitely continue to look into that. And if you do have a Fidelity account and that's something you're interested in, I would definitely reach out and let them know, for sure. So what was the, and the next one's from Austin. It says, is TD Ameritrade supported? I thought it was disabled until the switch to Charles Schwab was complete. That's a great question. And it's a little bit of a nuanced answer. So if you've had a TD Ameritrade account that's been active already, and you've already signed up for SignalStack and you've got that brokerage connected, then the orders are continuing to work. However, they're not allowing you to create a new account. And so there's no, like, you can't create it today and hook it up through SignalStack. We have been in contact with their team, and we do hope to have the Schwab API available sometime in Q4. And as soon as their team makes that available for us, We plan to enable that integration as soon as possible. Does that answer your question, Austin? Awesome. And then we've got Bob Greenberg. What if we have developed our own signal source? How do we connect our custom app into SignalStack? Looks like Jason gave you a good answer here. We do have Zapier enabled, and so Zapier might be one solution that you could look into using. We also have IFTTT, and if there's any other solutions that you're looking for, I'd be happy to talk it over with you and see if it's something we can make happen. And I think that looks like all the questions. Does anybody have any other questions or comments on anything today?
Yes, sorry, Michael McGregor. I just put it in the Q&A, but maybe I was too late there. With Trendspider, I found that I get a trigger signal on the last candle of the day, and then because it's trying to trade a market order on the next candle, the market's closed, it stops the bot. Is there any way to set the bot so that it says, okay, market's closed, I'm going to do it on the open of the next trading day?
Interesting. Yeah, that's a great question, actually. And that's something we've run into, actually, is that sometimes the orders will fire off at close, because basically the way it's working is that it checks the conditions of your strategy at the close of each candle. And so if your strategy just so happens to trigger at the close, there have been issues with those orders firing off, and the market being closed the next day is an interesting one. So you said you've already had orders fail because the next day the market's closed?
Yeah, the last 3 days actually on the close, it's a 30-minute candle, it triggers it. And then of course the next candle is when I'm sending the signal to either buy or sell, and the bot is failing, and so it just stops the bot.
Interesting, but the market's been okay. So what brokerage are you using?
Interactive brokers.
Interactive brokers. That's a great question. So basically it sounds like you might be trying to fire off a market order after market close.
Yes, that's correct.
That's correct. One way to work around this is you should, if you're using, like you said, you're using Trendspider.
Yeah.
All right. I was just thinking if you could set the time frames which the order trades in, maybe have it expire 30 minutes before the close.
That's a great idea.
I'll try that. Yeah.
Only do, like, say if you want to do post open, say you could set it where it does only 30 minutes after the open, and then have it stop trading 30 minutes after or before the close, to give you outside of those kind of broad bands.
Okay, I'll have a look at that.
I'm kind of show that actually real quick, Jason. I can share my screen and show him.
That'd be great.
Just a quick example really quickly. There's something we have called the candle time indicator. Can you see my screen right now?
I can, thanks, yes.
Okay, great. So if you come into indicators and turn them on, there's something here called, and we'll turn all this off, the candle time indicator. And so this is going to be how you handle that basically. And so you'll see here that if we come into a really small time frame, this basically just prints the time of day every day. And so then when you come into your strategy tester and you're building out your order, you can always say something like the indicator candle time must be less than a constant value. And then let's just say, 30 minutes before close, so 15:30.
Great, understood. Yeah. In fact, I couldn't see your screen, but I understand exactly. One of my strategies does have constant of time, so that's good.
Yep. So yeah, definitely check out the candle time indicator. There's also a YouTube video that you can find if you say, like, if you just Google Trendspider candle time YouTube. Our CEO Dan made a great video on how to use the candle time indicator to actually even trigger buys on the open or sell the close, buy the, however you want to do it.
Great.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation, Jason.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Which one of you guys are like pretty technical? James? Is that?
I don't know if I'd call myself technical, but I could probably help you with your question.
Well, I feel it sounds like these guys are very UI oriented, but we're doing something programmatically. So, I'd like to take it offline if I can with one of you guys on what we're trying to accomplish and what the best strategy would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We definitely are kind of showing more of a visual experience, but that's we absolutely can do fully integrated strategies, especially in
Yeah.
Tradingview,
we
with
have-
buy and sell exits and using dynamic functions as well.
Yeah, because we have our decision bot like already made, but like we're trying to figure out how now to get to the brokerage. So, and it looks like you have a pretty robust solution for getting to a variety of brokerages, and so we'd like to pursue that seriously. And so I gave you guys my number in the chat. Maybe somebody can get me on WhatsApp after this. That'd be great.
Would you mind maybe sending me an email?
We really don't know. We're kind of real time kind of people.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
let's take that offline. And I
Yeah, I'm
can
happy.
follow.
I'm happy to jump in a call after this, by the way. I think I've got some open time on my calendar.
That would be really great. I would love to have a chat and just we know what we want to do. We just trying to find the right platform to do it on. So
Makes
Perfect.
perfect sense.
yeah.
So let's see here if there was any other questions.
We have a question, let's see. There's about which strategies are better than others. There's not a right or wrong there. Everyone's got their own style of trading, whether that's how often they trade or if it's like during trading hours, after hours, however that strategy is. So I don't know if we can really say which strategy works best. It's really, that's gonna be something you'll come with. And we help simply automate those strategies in whichever flexible way you're looking for, whether programmatically or through more of a single cross transition.
Yeah. And Trendspider is really set up to help you succeed in that area because one of the primary tools is the strategy tester. And so once you have your strategy, you can come into Trendspider and thoroughly back test your strategy, and then even do forward testing into a paper trade account and really dive in and make sure your strategy is functioning exactly how you want it to. I do see another question here. It was sent in prior to the video. It says, are NASDAQ futures compatible with SignalStack? And that's a great question. The answer is yes, but it doesn't necessarily depend on SignalStack. It more so depends on your broker. Not all brokers are going to have futures enabled via API trading, but we do offer multiple brokerages that do allow you to trade NASDAQ futures, such as Tradingview, TradeStation, IBKR, and more. So yeah, I hope that answers that question.
And I would say if there's no other questions, we're just barely over time. Was this helpful? And was there anything you would provide or as recommendations for future webinars or workshops that would be beneficial? We're also fully available anytime via phone, email, or we have chat functionality in the platform.
Cool. James, how do you want to meet?
Great question. So, I mean, we can hop into another Zoom, or I can send you a link to a Google Meet or WhatsApp.
Yeah, I gave you the number. It's in the thing. You can just WhatsApp me real quick.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. I didn't see it.
All right, we're gonna end the recording here. And
Okay.
thank you for everyone.
Well, hold on one sec. So I don't think I saw it. Do you have his number, Jason?
Yes, I do. Bob
You do have it?
Bob Greenman.
Greenberg.
Yes.
Yes,
Greenberg.
I've got it.
Okay, all right. Will you send that to me in a message?
Doing it right now.
Okay, thanks. And thanks so much, everybody, for coming today.
Thanks.
All right.